roof. I need to drop that.
Hello.
Yep. And we're on live.
It was on.
No, I said not on. It's still playing.
Oh, I thought you said you were.
No, I said we're live.
That blew me. Don't put it all the way down. That made me think it was done.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm not that quick like you. All right. We can't be amateurs. We're pros.
Speak for yourself. Definitely
We
not.
can't let them know we're amateurs.
Well, now it's on Facebook Live, so.
Ah. Carbon dated on Facebook.
That reminds me.
Hey, Facebook.
I'm gonna go here.
Share it.
Right? I guess it helps if you share it.
Sharing is caring.
I can't even share my own video.
All right.
Oh.
Here we go.
Woo! Good Friday night.
Good evening.
It's Friday night, and that means you're listening to Illrad, your rock, talk, and pop culture show on the Fishbowl Radio Network, FBRN US, or Facebook.com/Illrad Radio if you want to see us running around like crazy people in the studio. That's a place you can find us on the web. We're coming to you live from beautiful Arlington, Texas, in the Entertainment District. I'm your host, Michelle. Sitting next to me is...
Charles, Weirdobeardo.
Yes, the Weirdobeardo. Stick around because we have an awesome guest tonight. We have Meg Hudson. She is the front woman of Drive Thru Society and Camp Gladiator trainer extraordinaire. So we will have her joining us in the studio. Be sure to stick around if you want to see that crazy stuff that's going on during the studio, what we're doing in the studio while the music's playing.
Of course, you can join us on Facebook Live.
Of course, Facebook Live, and join us, watch us, figure out what we're trying to do. Thank the Lord above for Victor, our sound engineer, who keeps us going.
V for Victor.
Yes.
Victory, right?
He's awesome.
Thanks, Victor.
Did you have a great week, Victor? Good.
Awesome.
We're glad you're here. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't hear or see us, so.
All
Woohoo!
right. Well, how about some music?
Absolutely.
All right. I'll go grab her.
Okay. Yay! No yawning, Victor.
It's a silent screen for coffee.
It is, right? Okay, you tell me what kind of coffee you like. Next time I'll bring you coffee.
Pike Place.
Nice.
Yeah. You bring your bag. This is Victor, our board operator.
Hi, Meg. Nice to meet you.
Victor, nice to meet you.
All right. Grab a seat. Yeah. You,
Maybe.
yeah. Do you think she'll need her headphones?
Sorry?
No. Do you think she'll need her earbuds? She won't necessarily.
If you like, you ask them as well. It's up to you.
Yeah. See if they reach.
Here, I'll come that way.
Huh? Where?
Mine aren't very long.
Mine aren't either. So, I mean, if I
Uh-oh.
need them, I will.
No, we do have some.
Okay, cool.
Is that long enough?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay.
Which mic do you want me to
Turn that off.
This one? Okay, great.
So you're familiar with being in front of a mic, right?
A little bit.
She doesn't know anything about being.
It's been a minute.
So you want to switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. You're yeah.
You You
Oh,
know
yeah,
what you're
this one-
doing, Michelle.
I do not know what I'm doing. Okay, so tools,
I am not a tool.
advanced, or automatic. Okay, so, and switch. Okay, just start. Okay,
And then you do the same thing to the other.
okay, and then close, I guess. Okay.
There's some disciple in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Did you see they just finished their record?
I did. Yeah,
Woohoo.
and they've been throwing them out.
Dude,
You know?
yeah. Killing it.
It's awesome. Now y'all played with Disciple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what show was that?
It was like one of our very first shows.
No
It was
kidding.
rough, yeah. We were so young. We were just, we didn't know what we were doing a whole
Yeah.
lot. We
Where
were
was
just
that
trying to-
show?
It was in Dallas.
Okay,
Yeah.
cut your teeth a little bit
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. But we played some festivals where they were at also, so.
Cool.
Do we-
It's just been
Yeah. Now we got one more song.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember my first concert put together. Mm-hmm. And so we booked our first show, I say on a little bit larger scale, Seventh Day Slumber.
Yeah.
We booked them, but then Sanctus Real caught word that we booked a show at our church, so they contacted us. 3 week, like we're just trying to find somewhere, And I remember I was, like, what am I doing? I mean, I was in like practically fetal position, like, what am I getting
Lord, I
myself
need
into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all over the place.
It's like,
So,
Well, and, there's stages that are sometimes just not big enough, like, that are just tiny.
Yeah.
Especially for bands that throw down pretty
Yeah.
well.
no kidding.
Of course, now Seventh Day's got, like, a whole pyro thing. and-
oh yeah,
Oh,
we
Yeah.
we had to
crazy.
figure that out because we're a church that had been burnt down before.
Oh, yeah.
So, so when
Fire
when they were
suppression.
talking about like pyro, everybody's like, "Oh my
Like,
goodness,
little scars there.
what's gonna happen?"
Maybe not. Can we do geysers instead? Maybe something less flammable.
Right.
Right.
Everybody's like, "Oh no, it's okay. It's not. It's
It's water-based.
It's water based. It's okay." I'm like,
How does fire?
I know exactly. How is that water? Okay, I'm just gonna
Okay,
trust that
alright,
it's
yeah.
fire based
That's
or
funny.
water based, fire based,
I mean, it is
Fire.
fire.
Fire was
How many
right?
years did y'all run? What was it, X Fest?
2 years.
2 years we
years.
did
We did-
X Fest and we did shows
Oh.
for
Five. Yeah.
6.
So we had 2011 and 2012.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it was fun. I'm pulling that down just a little bit.
All right, we got some folks on Facebook. Hey, Kyle, Cindy.
Hi, Mom.
Good on Mom.
So sweet.
Hey, Ben.
Okay, so I think you have some some rock llamas on.
Nice.
Woohoo!
They're my people. So we did that in the band, and then I bring it out to camp, and everybody's like, "What's the deal with the llama?" And I'm like, "Well, it was part of my rock band years, you know." And so I just wanted to, like people take pictures, and they're like, "I don't know what to do with my hands."
Right?
Let's just give them something to do, right? That's it.
That is fun.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. So-
There it is.
It's water with red food coloring. That's cute.
Yep,
Yep.
that's
I agree.
probably about right.
I agree.
Always.
Water based. That's funny.
Oh, I guess
We will come back after
I got 10
the
minutes.
Oh, it can see me too.
No, we got, actually,
That's cool.
let's hit 3 days grace too.
I didn't realize that there's another camera.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
on here too.
Wow. What's that about? I thought I was just going to hide over here
Yeah,
behind the
no.
computer. It was going to be great.
Just a hot seat.
I'm all by myself over here.
So how's Greg?
All today.
He's good. He's
Good.
working a ton, and he actually works here in Arlington, or Grand Prairie.
okay.
Yeah, so he commutes down here every day.
Oh, from Denton.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. He told me the other day, he's like, I love my job, but I don't know if I can make this drive every day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
At least for like, the next 20 years.
Right.
Maybe for like 35. We'll see.
So I'm thinking, though, is he hitting bad traffic each way? 'Cause-
He leaves at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So he really doesn't. If he leaves past like 6:30, then he's gonna hit traffic.
Yeah,
But
yep.
but if he leaves 6:15, 6:30, it's not too bad.
Okay.
Takes him about an hour.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Although sometimes getting home hour and a half. He doesn't want to pay for toll roads, so there's that.
Pretty soon he's
Yeah.
not going to be
I
able to
know,
get
that's
home.
what I don't know.
It's like every road is a toll road.
Mhm.
Nobody's going anywhere without a toll road.
I'm waiting for them to charge a toll for using gas or your blinker, maybe.
Oh yeah.
They do have a toll. It's called a tax.
That's true. That's true.
I have so we just we just got a new car, and it was supposed to be like, for our insurance, you're supposed to tell them how far your commute is, and I was like, to work, and I was like, well, I walk to work, so it's not really fair, but maybe like we're like, okay, where do we drive that we can like give like a mileage to,
an actual
because they're like no zeros. Okay, fine.
for like insurance purposes.
Yes, I don't know. I guess they wanted
Insurance is
to
like
know.
this mythical world.
It really, really
I don't
is.
Kidding.
understand
Ah.
it very well.
Yeah.
All sorts of insurance.
It's
Car,
like,
health.
There's pet insurance,
What? No way.
It
yes,
is, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
yes.
What does it insure?
Well, I think like if you have to do,
It's like health insurance
Yeah.
for your dog.
because you
Because
sometimes
dogs get expensive.
Oh my
Animals
gosh.
get expensive.
Yeah.
One day, my grandma
Surgeries.
needed to take their cat to the vet because
Yes.
the cat was not doing very well. And they were like, oh, she's just dehydrated. And they had just injected water under her skin. It cost her $300.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Can I just spritz her with like a,
You're
with
like,
a little bottle?
That's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
wow.
And reason why we don't have pets yet. I did have a fish. It was
Wow.
a beta. It lived for 2 years.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's what everybody says.
That is really good.
Yeah, he lived for 2 years, and then he just recently died.
Aw.
I don't.
What was its name?
Rolo,
Rolo.
like a Viking. You know? I was into the show at the time, so I named him Rolo.
Oh, see, I'm like thinking candy, Rolo,
Oh,
candy.
yeah. Also relevant.
It works.
Also could be relevant.
Whatever.
Funny. So,
Oh,
do
we've got people online that have
you have
pet insurance.
Tell me.
Chelsea O'Daniel.
Yep.
Yes, Chelsea.
Yep.
You have it? Oh my goodness.
Four
She's
fur
got
babies.
2
Well,
or
if I-
3 dogs and some kitties.
Wow.
Oh, see, if I had a bunch of fur babies. Well, we have 3.
Yeah.
They just, you know. I guess I gotta get insurance for the kid before I get insurance for the
Probably so.
dogs.
That might be a priority.
I know.
Usually
know.
human priority. Unless you don't have children. Like Chelsea doesn't have kids yet. So
But they are her babies.
they are. They really are. Like
They are.
I've been over to their house and they're so cute. And they're adorable. I can hear this somewhere.
Can you?
Is it in this thing?
The music?
No.
Oh.
No.
Us talking.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. Oh, it's on here. That's where it is. I figured it out.
You're like, what
Technology, it's
what is
everywhere.
that?
I got it. Well, that's cool. Chelsea, you're going to have to tell me about pet insurance when I see you on Monday, unless you're going to camp tomorrow.
What?
What?
Woohoo.
How about you introduce her and then I'll
Okay.
hit some interview questions.
These hard-hitting
Oh,
interview questions.
Tell
I
me.
hope
Chill.
I hope
Just
you're
chill.
ready,
I'm
Meg.
ready.
I
Put
hope
me
you're
on the
ready.
spot.
What's your favorite color?
It's only a flesh wound.
Basha, I love you.
That's awesome.
That's so funny. I learn something new all the time, though. Like, I really didn't know about pet insurance. But I should, because pets are a big deal to people.
They
Sure.
are a big deal to people.
2 checkups a year and shot updates and teeth cleanings, and we never have to pay for the visit.
Can I get pet
Wow.
insurance for myself?
No joke.
I'll be a pet.
I could use that. Do I get that?
You can get 2 free checkups a year. It's probably cheaper.
Probably.
And we we get shot updates.
Is there a weight limit on that?
I'm a really big dog. Hey, does it cover? I wonder if it covers.
Here we go. We're going on there.
Okay.
Welcome back. You're listening to Illrad on the Fishbowl Radio Network. I am Michelle. I've got Charles here, and let's welcome our amazing guest. We have the front woman of Drive Thru Society and Camp Gladiator trainer of the Rock Llama team. Super awesome, Meg Hudson.
Hello, guys.
Welcome.
We are glad you are here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So you came from Denton, right?
I did.
How's traffic?
Honestly, there was none.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I left with like an hour and a half, and I got here in an hour. So I just,
Nice.
wanted to leave enough time because you never know. So
Well, we ordered that for you.
Yes.
So you know.
I
We
appreciate
took
that.
all the traffic for
Thank
you, actually.
Appreciate that.
We took it. That's like special guest
Super
privileges.
great treatment.
Exactly.
But we took all the traffic.
I'm gonna leave you a 5-star review.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Just for that.
So your band's name is Drive Thru Society,
Yes.
DTS for short.
Yes.
I'm sure you get that right.
Uh-huh.
So tell us a little bit, our listeners, about who is DTS Drive Thru Society and what you guys are about.
So right now the band consists of me and my husband Greg, and he plays guitar and I sing. We have a friend that we go to church with, and we've actually been writing music with him. He's a fantastic guitar player, but as far as like up front in pictures and online and stuff, it's still just Greg and I. We've been around for a couple of years. We've actually kind of been on a break since about 2017, just kind of rebuilding, re-evaluating what we're doing. But we've released, a music video in the past year, and we actually are in talks of releasing another single this year, so that'll be exciting. But really, we're just a rock band that loves Jesus, and we want to share a message of hope and an encouragement through rock music, but address difficult issues that sometimes get overlooked.
Awesome.
That
Wow.
is super awesome. Can I have just like a minor confession here?
Tell me.
Okay. Forgive me, Meg. Drive Thru Society, for the longest time, I called you guys Drive By Society.
Dude, you are not the only one, okay? Listen. There were so many times where we were like, yeah,
You're
just
like,
drive by.
whatever.
Yeah, it's good.
I was like, oh no, don't say that on the radio,
No,
Michelle.
it'll be fine.
Don't do it.
Fine. It's all good. You are not the only one, though, that has done that. People have done that for, some time. And
It
then we
happens.
just laugh that we need to get like our little like bandanas and just look real thug and
That could be
Drive
fun.
By Society.
Do
I mean,
that- the music video.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Get some 24s on our rims.
There you go.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Awesome. That's funny. Well, what makes Drive Thru Society stand out from other rock bands? Would you say
Well,
particular traits? or
Just
what?
like came out of the gate with those
no, it's
questions,
good. It's
man.
Good. I like it. I mean, I feel like the rock genre is kind of small. It seems so big, but once you get in it, you're like, this is a lot smaller. Everybody knows each other.
Sure.
And so it is kind of hard to differentiate between all sorts of bands. Everybody's trying to find their thing, their niche that sets them apart. What I noticed, I guess, the most when we were playing shows was we spend a lot of time at the merch table.
Okay.
And that was where we really connected with people and heard their stories. I tried to, you want to give everybody the most attention that you can, but sometimes it's a 10-minute interaction. And so we always tried really hard to keep the conversation going online, which I've seen a lot of bands doing nowadays too, especially with the explosion of social media and all sorts of avenues where people can follow you.
Sure.
But I guess that's the biggest thing is that we would do that. I used to make my own clothes and perform in those and sell them at the merch table. So that was kind of unique, something a little different. So
What better way to display it than on stage? Though,
I
right?
know, yeah, it was really fun. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, where can our listeners find you online?
Well, we're pretty much on all major networks, so iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Spotify. What else we get? Pandora. I know there's a couple songs on Pandora that are on there. are pretty much the main ones. I mean, YouTube's a big one too. We've had people like take our songs and attach them to their own little videos or their own little like visuals, and so like the more the merrier, you know.
Sure.
So we're pretty much on all music platforms.
You're like, we're pretty serious people.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you know.
Like, not really, but I guess.
We're kind of a big deal.
Not really, but not really.
So Meg, what do you do outside of being a rock band? I know you probably don't do that 24/7. Right?
No. I am a personal trainer with Camp Gladiator, which is an outdoor group fitness boot camp.
Woohoo! What?
Yeah, and you guys are actually campers too, which is even better.
Cool.
All the more reason to connect with you guys.
Right.
And I started pretty much in 2017 when we kind of like took a hiatus. Greg and I were like, well, we got to get jobs again because we just quit our jobs to do this full time, and then it didn't really pan out the way we thought it would. And so I was like, man, what am I interested in besides music? And I was like, well, I really like fitness and nutrition. And so I actually became a personal trainer at a place in Flower Mound called The Perfect Workout. And then one of my previous Camp Gladiator trainers that I used to like work out with contacted me and was like, hey, would you want to train with CG? And I was like, well, I mean, maybe. At the time, I was kind of in a rough mental place, and I was like, man, I don't have what it takes to do that. Like, they're so good, I would never be able to do that. And just throughout, the course of a couple months, I couldn't get it off my mind. I felt like the Lord kept leading me back to, hey, maybe you should look at this. And then I started pursuing it, and, like, all the doors opened. Wow. And I was like, all right, this is where we're going, and it's great. I mean, when it's, 35 outside and it's freezing and I've got 6 jackets on.
And it's cold and
it's
it's
still
dark.
fun. It's still fun because I get to, do silly things and hear people's stories and watch them achieve and accomplish their goals, and it's very, very rewarding. So
I have a very important question.
Tell me.
How many check-ins do you have?
I am at 93. I got 93 today. I'm
Woohoo!
almost at 100. I'm going to hit 100 with this camp. So that's my
Awesome.
goal.
Very
So
cool.
is it hard to juggle your training camps, but you also fit them in?
Yeah.
Right.
So my goal is I touched the mic. 3 camps a week, sometimes 4 if I can, and then I still weightlift in the gym once a week.
Oh,
So,
Awesome.
but camp is the best. So
awesome. You're preaching to the choir.
I know
Yes.
you guys know.
Yes,
you
you
already know.
are.
We've kind of come to know them on a different level.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've used our church facility, I mean,
Oh,
to this day,
absolutely.
indoor to some of
we
their...
bless you for indoor locations.
Those
on
aren't
days
easy
that
to
are
find, I'm
rainy.
sure.
No, and they're cold, and so bless you for that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It was kind of fun. What year was it? They had their big conference in our
Yeah.
sanctuary.
They had one of their conferences in our sanctuary when they rolled out, where was it? Total Transformation.
Yes.
So that was like a few years back. And but I think what really sealed the deal for us loving Camp Gladiator is that we got to hear Allie Davidson, the CEO or co-CEO, and her husband speak. And
they're great.
They are amazing. It was like, okay, what do I have to do to be a trainer? Oh yeah, I have to get fit. I'll just keep going to camp. Okay, that's
a journey.
That's awesome.
hey, we love all campers. Some people are better campers. Some people work out as great trainers. So
That's a lot of fun.
it just depends on-
I'll say one thing. When we hosted that, I was in the sound booth above watching. There's nothing more entertaining than in between their sessions, just watching 400 plus trainers. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
the activity and energy. It was entertaining.
Or
to watch.
watching a whole hundreds of trainers doing I love Camp Gladiator
Yeah, fast jacks.
fast jacks
Yes.
in the pews. And it was hilarious.
It is, and we do that every meeting, big or small,
Yes.
every time.
Yes.
It's very consistent.
Yes. I'm not that coordinated. See, I can't
Step
be
it
a
out.
trainer. I can't do it.
Step it
I know.
out.
I am the queen of modifications.
Hey, that ain't nothing wrong with that.
I heart my modifications. I accept them and love them.
Love it.
Well, so what are some bands or artists you grew up listening to? And this might be a different answer. Second, as a musician, who's influenced you?
Oh, the list could go on for days. So honestly, I discovered rock when I was, young, and I just fell in love with it. Like, I heard probably 2004 was when Evanescence dropped their first record, and I was like, oh man, hey, these people are awesome. But I was listening to Linkin Park and Incubus and all those bands like way before they got there. But it was the first time I'd heard like a girl in rock, and I was like, oh heck yeah, she can sing, she's awesome, and
Right.
and then of course Flyleaf came on the scene around the same time, and I was just like in love. And then the first female like fronted Christian band that I'd really heard, because I was listening to Red and Cutlass and Skillet, was Fireflight. And I was like, oh my gosh, they have females that love Jesus and can sing as female fronted. And so that was kind of my introduction into Christian rock, into that. And like Red is still one of my favorites to this day. We've seen them probably 15 times.
Nice. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
We love them.
Oh, that's
a commitment.
okay. So like, is that like the only? I mean, do you have any other bands like that you're like, okay, they're in town, I have to go?
We usually always try and go see Steady Rock Fest when it's in town.
Sure.
Especially now because we're friends with a lot of those people.
Right.
Just going to shows, playing with some of them at this point. If they're nearby and it's doable, we always try and go see them and just support them.
That's awesome.
Through that. I would say now my like influence has expanded to a lot of different things. Obviously, I'm still heavily into rock, but a couple of years ago, I started really getting into metal. So Fit for a King, Silent Planet, a lot of that. I know it's a little heavier, but very, very great musicians there, and so that's a big influence. And then some acoustic stuff too. Like I really like Matt Kearney. He's got a lot of great songs and whatnot. So.
Yeah.
Very cool. So have you guys ever played with Red?
No, sadly. I know.
Maybe one day.
I think
know.
seeing him
We
10
need to put
times
it
should
out there.
automatically
Well,
elect
we
you.
almost
Right?
did. Like, we almost did. We had contacted the venue to be an opener for the Red Demon Hunter, like, tour. And we were so excited because they were like, yeah, as long as you sell as many tickets, you can open the show. And we were like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. And then, like, I was going down there to get the pre-sale tickets, and the guy was like, hey, Red's management contacted me and told me they won't have any local openers. And I was like, okay. But, I mean, knowing the business side of things, like, they only have this much time for a show, you know, and I've seen it where openers get added on at the last minute, and then it pushes everything back. And so it's not, I get it, it's not fair to the tour that's booked this weeks and, you know, months in advance to throw on this opener that they weren't expecting, and it changes their whole schedule.
Right.
So we weren't mad about it. Like, it happens.
Did you still go to that show?
Oh,
though?
yeah, we were there. Better believe it.
You guys did a set out front.
Yeah, like,
hey, by the way.
We're the bum with the guitar and the little case out front. Yeah, it was good. No.
Nice.
No.
Yeah. All right. So I think we've got some Drive Thru Society music coming up.
Yay, music.
Woohoo. All right.
You're right. We did open for Lacey Stern. That was awesome.
Fun. That's right.
Yeah, that was a great show. She's recording her second record.
So you want to actually do Zana after this one?
Yeah, I love Susan.
Okay. Good.
We're friends now. Hey, Tim, where's the bathroom?
Like to do a
They-
little
I have
play on it?
time.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll put another song in front of that song. So we're going to, it's right out here to the door. So when you go out the door, go to the left.
Like out of the studio?
Yeah, so out the main door
door,
there, and
yeah.
then it's to your left, and then it'll be on your right. She's like, I'll walk around to this square and find it. Oops. So now everyone on Facebook Live knows where the bathrooms are here.
Unfortunately, the building's locked, so you guys can't get in. Sorry.
Right. Sorry. You can't come here and use the bathroom randomly in Arlington.
Sure.
Okay, so I saw some people on here are doing the Stadium Dash, the CG Stadium Dash. So that's kind of cool.
Ah, yeah.
That is actually just down the street from where we are right now.
Could practically throw a stone there
Yes.
and hit. Maybe.
So maybe we should do that. We should do this Stadium Dash.
Sure.
Okay, I'll do the stadium dash, and you can
I'm a little more limited, but
you can cheer me on
Sure.
or resuscitate me
We could
when
do
I.
like Spartacus. I could be in the.
So yeah, that's it. Just you can
Call me.
resuscitate me. Do you work out, Victor? You do. What kind of workout do you do? What do you like to do?
Free weights, mostly.
Nice.
Good.
I hate cardio.
I know cardio stinks, man. Ugh. Like when they make me run, I'm just like, oh, really?
Play sports, it's funner.
Yeah. It like stills your soul when they try to make you run. Or if you're like running after the ice cream truck, that's worth it. I'll run for that.
That's motivation right there.
I get motivated to run for the ice cream truck. Oh, here comes Meg. She found it. We didn't lose her. She's back. Is that a TP emoji?
Shut up, yes.
That's
As long as it wasn't the
awesome.
poo one.
No, it's
Because that was not happening.
that's
So
awesome.
funny. So cute. You should always have local openers. Yes, however, I have been to some shows where I'm like,
Ooh, why did they have so many local
Oh,
openers?
literally,
so
like,
I remember
what is going on?
doing a show in Arlington, and all I'll say I remember is Don't Wake Aislinn, we're on the bill. But there were so many bands.
So many local
I mean, like
openers.
5 or 6.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And it already started, I think it started at 7 or 8.
We were like, can we please just go home?
Literally, yeah, because then it makes the show so long, and you came for probably the headliner, and then it's like 11 or 12 o'clock, and you're like, you haven't even gotten on stage yet.
Right.
And I've been standing since 6 o'clock. Yeah,
So true.
Yep.
been there. There was one show we went to. It was a red show. We as Human and Southbound Fearing were playing,
Huh.
and it was a great lineup. But they had 2 locals, which was fine. But the set change in between the bands was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were like, I had brought my parents to that show,
Yeah.
and it was one of the first rock shows they'd ever been to, and they were like, this is a little ridiculous. I'm like, it's usually not this long. It's usually not this bad. I don't know why. Maybe
What is happening?
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's taking so long, but
Right. So there's Aaron on live is asking
Yeah.
if take a potty break during the workout tomorrow.
Aaron, you always know it's go at your own pace. And if you need to go to the bathroom, that's completely
Go
acceptable.
potty. It's okay. So
Unless
that
it's
was
outside.
like always the best thing about having camps at the church is like, oh, hold on just a second.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can go potty. I got the keys.
Because when you don't, and then you're doing jumping jacks, and you're like, well, I guess a little bit's just gonna come out.
Gonna have to modify this one.
Hashtag cardio P.
Yeah, it is a thing. Jump rope,
Right.
anything, or mom bladder. We had a long talk about that with our campers and mom bladder one time. That was fun.
That is always fun. That is always
So
fun.
you should find a way to incorporate a workout in a rock show.
You know, so last night it was funny because I got to camp and I was, already kind of like a couple minutes behind, and I'm setting up agility, and I'm like,
Oh, it is
I left
strength and
my
agility.
radio. I left my radio. What am I gonna do?
Uh-oh.
And my husband was like, well, you can just sing to them. I was like, I am not going to sing to them for an hour. Like, how awkward would that be? Anyway, I pretty much do, but it's karaoke because the music's playing,
Right.
So
That's different.
that's different than
Yeah.
me just doing. So I just had to back up my car and play the music through my car.
No, I seriously, I think you could totally do it, and I bet somebody would video it and it would go
I'm
viral.
sure.
It'd be awesome.
I'm not sure about viral, but it would go.
It would go somewhere.
It would go somewhere for sure. That's accurate.
Yes.
all my CG people are like, "You're in a band?" I'm like, "Well, I was, but I kind of am, but we don't play shows anymore." And they're like, "So you're in a band, right?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I guess."
Yeah. I'm in a band.
They're so cute. I love them.
It's funny.
Like, I don't know.
But some of my music is a little too heavy to play at camp.
So does anything make it into, like...
I have a couple songs on the, like,
See.
Cool.
like when it's peak week and
Oh, yeah.
interval week when, like,
Yes.
we're trying to get you going. I have a couple songs on there.
See, but I'm always like... The playlist is so important.
I know.
I'm not kidding. There are some
When you work
trainers that
out-
I'm just like, oh...
Well, y'all would like mine because I've got, like, Decipher Down, Disciple,
Okay, that's
Seventh
it.
Day. Yeah.
Have to take a
That's
trip up there.
it.
No kidding.
I actually was going through a bunch of Christian rock playlists today
Yeah.
and adding them. Like, I added a couple Fireflight songs and some Relentless Flood.
Right?
I love those guys. So,
Yep.
Sweet.
yep.
Nice.
All right. We're going to take it off auto.
I thought you were going to do that
Oh,
song.
that's right. We are.
These are all campers that are like, she dances and she
That's
plays
cool.
great music.
Aw, that's
Yeah.
fun. See, that's it. We're going to Denton.
Now, there was one day I only had like 4 or 5 people there, and I was like, all right, it's going to be Total Request Live here at CG, and I was just taking requests. I was like, even if it's heavy, and they were like, we don't care. So I was starting to play like Disturbed, and
Nice.
Really?
we played,
They dig it?
we played Drowning Pool, the bodies hit
yeah,
the
yeah.
floor.
Yes.
When I
That's
gave her,
perfect.
she had
Yes.
never heard it before, and she was like, oh, it's not bad. I was like, good
That
job.
says it all.
I'm
Right?
I'm about it.
Nice.
It was good.
That's fun.
I love it. See, yeah, I like heavy stuff.
Well, and like, I can't really play like Silent Planet or
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Wolves at the Gate because it's a little
That's,
too heavy.
that's
Right?
Yeah.
Some people may not appreciate the screaming.
No.
That'd be quite a workout, though.
It'd be so good. Oh, everybody be lifting 40s over their head.
Right?
Yeah, it's crushing it.
Huh.
Heart rate would be through the roof. It'd be great.
Oh, I accidentally almost ended the video. Oops.
So can you hear any of what's...
Oh yeah, I can hear
Okay.
Zona
Okay,
playing
cool.
right now.
Good.
I love this song. Did y'all see the new music video for this song?
No.
I did.
I want to watch it.
It's great.
Cool. So she's based out of San Antonio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where her and Patrick live right now. So fun fact, so I went to her bridal shower in like last year, and I met this girl who was married to the guy who filmed this video in Houston.
Ah.
So my parents live in Houston, and I was at their church one Sunday, and they were there. The director and PJ and his wife were both there visiting the
that's
church, and I was
cool.
like,
Small
oh
world.
my gosh, I
That's
just
cool.
like we know each other through the music scene, but then you were at my parents' church, and that's cool.
Small world.
Yeah,
That's really
it is
cool.
So,
I probably want to.
ooh, I just shook everything. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
That's okay. We do it about 100 times a show. That's all right. Yeah. It's a very good song.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, we got time.
I loved it because it's just, I know the story because I went through it too. So
Yeah.
I just, when she released it, I was like, Susie, yes, call it out. So
Yep.
Y'all
It's
got
great.
to bond a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
over something rough, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like it's been good because we made each other feel like we weren't crazy for what happened. You know, like, was I just imagining things? No,
Yeah.
it really happened. So it's good.
Cool. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of weird. I'm just like
They're like,
whack-a-mole or
hey.
something.
You can't see it, but there's a computer screen right here in front, and Charles, I can just see like from here up for
Right.
Charles. It's like in Home Improvement.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
the guy in the fence.
who's that neighbor's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. But I just remember
his
the
name?
fence. I don't know.
I don't know.
I was too young.
I just,
That's
too
funny.
young.
I'm just kidding.
Like, how old are you, Meg? Are you like, what, 25 maybe?
I'm 29.
29. Okay.
So I'm almost 30. It was funny though, because I got on this 80s rock kick and I added a bunch of songs to those to my CG playlist, like Poison and Bon Jovi and all that.
Yeah.
And they were laughing at me. They were like, "You don't even know who these artists are." I'm like, "No, I did. I grew up with them because my parents listened to it." And they were like, "Oh, your parents, huh?" Like, and then I tried to make it right. Like, "Oh, your parents' age. This is your parents' music." And I was like, "No, listen." I just kept trying to fix it, and I just dig deeper.
Yeah, you're like,
So now I just joke. I'm like, "Hey, the old people music's on." They just laugh at me. It's good.
So we got just a couple of seconds
Yeah, just run
left.
with it.
Here you go.
Till we go back on.
Wilson.
Squirrel.
You're listening to Illrad on the Fishbowl Radio Network. We have Meg Hudson from Drive Thru Society in studio with us tonight, and we just determined a very important thing is that the neighbor on Home Improvement was named Wilson. So
Thank you, Aaron Labonte.
yes, thank you very much for
There's a
that.
good reason we brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's necessary.
So we just played Zana, Your Gun, My Knife, and she just recently released that. So that song has a lot of story attached to it and a lot of it sounds like it's almost like a therapy song for everyone involved. And I noticed when she released the video and teaser, you actually posted about that song and shared it. And so you guys are actually friends, right?
Yeah.
And you were talking on Facebook Live just a few minutes ago how you both bonded over a really difficult situation. And so tell us a little bit about, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so obviously I want to, protect all people involved.
Yes.
And it's hard to talk about a situation and not sound like a bitter person. But I think everybody has had an experience in their life where they felt like they did everything they could and it just didn't work out. And you were pinned the bad guy. And that was the situation I went through. And Greg as well. We were given an opportunity at the end of 2016 to potentially create a new band with other people that were in the industry. And we prayed a lot about it because we had just released our EP. We were getting a lot of traction for that. And so we would basically abandon Drive Thru Society or kind of just put it over here on the shelf and create this new thing with this other band. And we sought advice and mentors and prayed and prayed and prayed. And we felt like this was a move that we needed to make. So we did it and quit our jobs, put all our stuff in storage. I mean, we went in full force, right? We decided that we were going to spend, anything that we had, we were going to give to this. And we were going to go for it. So we recorded a record. We came up with a new band name. We took photos. We did all the things. And we were it was 3 months in. We started in January, February, March. We got out of the studio in March, and in April it was, okay, we got to practice. We got to practice. We're going to try and showcase for this label. And so, but we had been a band for 3 months, Yeah. We had never played a show together. We were still trying to figure out everybody, and probably 3 weeks into our practice, it got really ugly. Just people weren't necessarily on the same page. We felt like there was a lot of back alley conversations going on that we weren't privy to. And just the way things were handled, we didn't feel was very biblical. And so we tried really hard to fix it and to do everything that was asked of us. And at some point in time, it got to the point where my health was coming into question. Because they were asking me to lose weight and unhealthily.
Sure.
and look a certain way and sell sex, and that just wasn't what I was about.
Sure.
And even when we tried to call them out on that, hey, you're asking, they were like, no, that's not what we're doing. And I'm like, yeah, but it kind of is.
That's what it sounds like.
And so it was almost like anything that we tried to lay on the table to be like, hey, let's fix this. They were like, you're wrong, whatever. So we made the choice to walk away, and we lost a whole record of songs. We lost a lot of money, and I reached out to Susie because she had a similar experience with the same people.
Sure.
And I just reached out to her, and I was like, Susie, like, I know you don't have to talk to me, but this is what I went through. And she was like, oh my gosh, let's chat. And we just became friends through this, because I was like, this is what happened. She said the same thing happened to me. And it was just kind of this relationship over, hey, you're not crazy.
Yeah.
This is like, you're not the only one that this happened to. And so through that, it would be easy to stay in anger towards them, and there was a lot of that probably for the first year.
Right.
I can't believe this happened. I can't believe they treated me this way. I can't believe all this. But I had to get to a place of forgiveness, right? Because it's really just hurting me. They're not losing sleep.
No,
thinking,
they're not worried about it.
I was mean to her. Like, I should say sorry. No apology was ever offered. No responsibility was ever taken. Yeah. And I just had to get to a point where I was like, it was messed up, but I need to forgive them. And I did, and Susie and I helped each other through that a lot.
Wow.
That's
Just
awesome.
like praying scripture over each other and sending it to us, or having conversations at 11:30 at night via text. That's like, I just am so frustrated, and so she was a really good confidant for me in that. And so
That's very awesome.
That's
It's nice to know that you both were able, that kind of God put that ability for you guys to reach out and to work together for healing.
Yeah.
Because that's really awesome. But it's one of those things where you realize, we've seen it on this end too, that Christian rock is still part of a music industry.
Amen.
It's still a business.
And we never treated it not as such.
Right.
It just got to a point where this particular group wanted to use me for what I could give them. They didn't care about me as a person.
Right.
Like at one point,
you were a commodity.
Yes.
you were a product, and so that's kind of what it, and that's a business. And some people, especially when you have good intentions.
Yes.
It's hard to rectify, to stand back and go, it's still a business, and this is what's happening. But then you're like, but I'm in it because this is where I feel God's called me. And so I know that's kind of
it's a fine line.
Yeah.
But to me, at the end of the day, like, your faith needs to come before business. And maybe that's why we had to take a step back, because there were lines we weren't willing to compromise.
So we're about to have a commercial break.
Yay.
And we will chat a little bit more, because we also earlier played another Drive Thru song, and I have questions about that.
Oh, tell me. Okay, good. I'm excited to talk about it.
So, yeah. But thank you for sharing your story with us, because I know that's not always the easiest thing to do. And, we have been in the business side of things, so we get that. But not everybody who, clicks on a link or whatever knows what happens.
Exactly.
They don't see what's going on behind the scenes. So,
and I just don't. I can't express enough that I have forgiven them.
Yeah.
And then I am over it. Like, it sucked and it was rough to go through, but I'm grateful for it.
That's a great testimony there.
It is, absolutely. Because that's sometimes a very hard place to get to.
It was.
To be able to say
time.
that.
It took a long time.
Yeah. So it's, I know that's not always, forgiveness is so stinking hard, man. You gotta forgive those people.
Because you want justice, but I trust at the end of the day that the Lord's justice is better than anything I can come up with.
Correct.
Exactly.
So we're going to leave it there.
Of course. All right. Okay. So we will be right back. You're listening to Illrad. Woohoo.
Is that okay?
Huh?
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Because, you do sometimes feel like, oh, well, if I'm going to share this story, I sound like the bitter ex or whatever.
No,
Yeah, no.
absolutely
And
not.
that's not my heart behind
No.
it.
Nope.
But there was a lot that I was
No.
like,
Who knows? Maybe you'll write a book one day.
oh, I got lots of things. I got lots of things. I actually had thought about it multiple times, writing like a blog post about it. And like my process through it, but I was like, again, it's so hard to convey not sounding like the bitter ex again
Sure.
through a computer.
Right.
So,
Right.
and they're still around.
Sure.
Like, it's not like they've gone anywhere. So, yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
We've had our
yeah, y'all live in
shares
it.
of,
It's being now.
it's even though it's it's Christian atmosphere, you're still dealing with humans.
Amen.
You know.
Yeah, that are selfish and
Yeah.
and it is our job and responsibility to lovingly call them out and be like, listen, and we
Right.
did that.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
were like, they just got mad.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Right.
like, you can't get mad if I'm just being accountable to you.
And it's probably hard to not go all righteous indignation.
Right, and
you know.
that wasn't
Yeah.
how it was handled at all. We got to a point too where I actually took a step back from the communicating period because everything I was saying was being taken out of context.
Yeah.
And so Greg was the one that was just doing all the talking because they loved him.
Yeah.
They were like, he can stay, we like
Sure.
him. And so I was like,
You're like-
you've got to stand up for me in a sense, like,
Yeah.
and speak for me because, like, literally nothing I said was taken appropriately.
Yeah.
They would be like, you don't warm up. And I'm like, how are warming up? And they're like, well, we didn't see you, so we don't believe you.
Right.
How does that make any sense? It doesn't make any, like, logically, it doesn't make any sense.
You're like, I promise I'm not crazy.
Yeah, but, I mean,
It's life.
it happened
And-
a long time ago.
Yeah, it's life. It happens, and it's and it's hard when you've like thrown so much into something. I mean, because you guys basically left your life behind for this.
Our stuff is still in storage to this day.
Yeah. So you're like,
Yeah.
you left your life behind for this thing, and like, okay.
Yeah. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's already played.
Yeah, you're fine.
Do you want to come back after it?
Sure.
Or,
Yeah.
ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
The fun fact, so Donna Del Sesto is a radio promoter, and we were talking to her about potentially taking this song to radio, and she calls me and she's like, Meg, I'm sure it's a beautiful song, but I just can't promote this song. And I was like, why? And like one of her like family members had just committed suicide or something, and that's what the song is about.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, say no more. It's okay. I totally get it. And yeah. So that was unfortunate, but she's like a great radio promoter to work with.
Cool.
So
Have you ever connected with? Well, he didn't radio promote anymore. Seth. Yeah.
he was our main radio promoter for
Oh.
all the singles that we've put
No
out.
kidding.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Yeah.
he's still actively doing that?
No,
No.
he's focusing on his little newspaper.
Okay.
That's not really little
He's a
anymore.
neat guy.
He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. We love Seth. He actually coached us a lot when we were first getting in the game. Like, we hired him as like our like manager coach kind of thing. And we'd pay him and we'd have weekly phone calls with him, and he taught us about publishing and all like the whole music business.
Nice.
So he's very valuable to
Yeah.
us.
He's a neat guy.
Yeah. I mean, we've never met him in person.
We haven't either.
No, we haven't
Yeah.
either.
But he
Just
always
know
has
him
interesting
online.
stories
Oh,
that he
nice.
always told.
Which is probably why he's great at newspaper, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what is.
He's been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Long term.
Well, we had a rough show. It was one of our first ones that he helped get.
Which one?
I'm trying to remember. It was one of the first two that he helped with. And he's like, yeah, one time I had to leave a show and we just started taking stuff on the way out. And I was like,
Yeah.
Sounds like Seth.
I was like, no.
We can't. This is stealing, right? And he's like, no, probably not.
Nope. So, yeah, it was kind of funny.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, he mentioned once about having to show his gun,
I was like,
getting stiffed for a show on his end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, he's
probably
one you're
not
probably
Christian
close
rock
with. No.
then. Not Christian rock.
Like, oh boy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He'll come for you.
Yeah.
In a holy and righteous.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Right? Yes,
totally.
Seth?
Absolutely.
If you're listening, Seth.
Yes. You're awesome. Thanks for sharing your stories.
They're so great. He does have really good stories.
Yes, he
Yes,
does
he
have some
does.
really
They're all great.
good stories.
He'd be like, oh, this phone call tonight's only going to be an hour. And 3 hours later, he's like, okay, well, I'm going to get off the phone now. Like, thanks, Seth. But it was always pertinent, you know,
Right.
to,
Sure.
to
Yeah.
the story.
He's
It
a
is.
wealth of information.
It's funny. Hey, someone wanted to know how you listen to the music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you go, there's a pinned post, or I have another one here. If you go to, let's see if I can do it.
Nicole, are you hearing this? I like your llama energy.
FBRN.
Yes, fbrn.us, and if you go down to the green stream with some goofy people doing finger guns at each other, you will hear us.
At least we didn't do jazz hands. You know, that
We did that last week. Yes, Rock Llamas. Oh, we're back. You're listening to Illrad on the Fishbowl Radio Network. I'm Michelle. Charles is here in studio with us, and we have a guest, Meg Hudson with Drive Thru Society.
Hello, hello.
And we actually just played a Drive Thru Society song. We just played Ghosts. So, all right, that is part of a movie soundtrack, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so Mindfix Entertainment, Worthy,
Yes.
is the movie.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so how did you guys become part of that project?
Oh man, this is a crazy story. Okay, so this obviously we haven't played a show in a while because we had, X things happen. And so we were kind of taking a hiatus, taking a step back, and this woman from my church texted me one day on Facebook, and she's like, "Hey, I'm working with this producer or director for a movie, and I think your song would fit in it really well." And I was like, "What?"
What?
Like,
Okay.
first of all, wait, like, what kind of movie are we talking about?
Right.
Like homemade, video in your backyard, or like legit movie? And so I kind of just picked her brain a little bit more, kind of talked with her about it, and she was like, no. And she's like sending me pictures of like the Kendrick brothers who have done like, Fireproof, and
Yeah.
Wow.
it's not them, but she's been in Nashville or wherever they live, I don't know, with them at different conferences and stuff. So the director is Bruce Schneider, and she got me in contact with him. And so him and I kind of went back and forth, and I was like, okay, maybe this is a real thing. And he started telling me the synopsis of the story, and he asked me kind of like some background, like what's the song about, and it was almost the backstory of one of his characters in the movie. And he is really trying to put a movie out there that focuses on darker issues in the Christian industry, because a lot of Christian films are very kind of bubblegum pop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's
Ugh,
going
we
to be
just
okay.
pray. Everything's going to be fine. And he really wants to address spiritual warfare, which is like
Wow.
our jam. Like,
Right.
let's talk about it, okay? Because
Right.
it's very real. And so he, and I started talking back and forth, and he was like, well, I would really like to include your song on the soundtrack. And I'm like, psh, absolutely. And then he was like, send me some other ones that you might think would fit as well. So I sent him a couple songs, sent him the lyrics, and it just went from there. And now, like, the cast is pretty much set. We're actually fundraising for pre-production right now, so that we can start filming this year.
Very cool.
And it's going to be filming in Cleveland, Ohio, so it's kind of far for us, but he's actually talked about us maybe coming up there and just being on the set. And I'm like,
Are you guys going to
Cool.
be in the movie?
I don't know yet. It's going to depend on, how it gets written. There might be a scene where we're in it, but we don't know yet. There's nothing confirmed. However, he was looking for more rock artists, and so I actually connected him with Susie.
Very cool.
And so she will actually have a song featured in the movie as well.
Oh,
So,
Oh,
yeah, I
awesome.
know friends, right?
Yeah. Cool.
So, and I think he's actually watching right now. So,
Very cool. How
That's nice.
fun.
so it's
That's awesome.
So yeah, and that's Worthy, the movie, and I'm guessing, is there like a GoFundMe or
on their Facebook page, it should be called Worthy, the movie, and the link should be there for the fundraiser. So, yeah.
cool? Very, very cool. So, do you the song Ghost touches on some a really heavy topic.
Absolutely.
You know, how did you draw inspiration for that?
So it's actually my best friend's testimony. And if you've seen the music video, she's actually the one in the video.
Oh,
Really?
I know. So it's kind of cool because she was like, this is my story. I want to be the one to tell it.
Oh, wow.
So she struggled with depression and anxiety for years. And she was very ashamed of her attempted suicide. And when she was 19, she took a bottle of pills and was like, I don't plan to wake up tomorrow. But then woke up in a hospital and was like, why am I here? What's going on? And it was kind of this realization in that moment that was like, the Lord saved me.
sure.
I don't know why, but he's got a plan and he's got a purpose for me because I should have died. Like, she should have died. And
Wow.
and so I just had this line that was like, I had plans to die today. And that's where the song grew from. There's a line in the chorus that says, I destroy everything I touch, which is a very dark line.
Yes.
But it was kind of it was kind of funny because she lived with us for a while, and literally, like, she broke our paper towel holder. She broke the handle on Greg's door. And so we kind of had this joke that she's like, I just destroy everything I touch. And I was like, well, it's kind of a joke, but if I put it in the song, it fits really well, and it fits with her story. And
like,
so that's a little fun fact. But
so we're not saying anything, but
but it was just kind of this idea. She actually, when we were in the studio, we were in Knoxville with Travis Wyrick, and I was riding the bridge, and I had a bunch of jumble, and so I was texting her. I was like, I just need you to text me what you were feeling in that moment. Like, how did it feel when you were at the hospital and you had all these people judging you? Because when you attempt suicide, then you have to go to 72-hour watch in a psych ward just to make sure you're not going to be harmful to yourself, and then they release you.
Right.
And she said that she calls it the loony bin. And she was like, I just felt crazy. I felt like people were judging me, like how selfish I was. Aww. And so I'm in the studio working on the song, and she just sends me this text of all the feelings. And most of that story became the bridge of the song. Straight from her. And so, because it's such a dark subject and so many people have struggled with it, we wanted to end with hope, which is why the end of the song is kind of this revelation of like, I am saved, right? I don't have to live in this dark place where I feel worthless and I feel like I'm not, valuable. I'm actually loved and cared for deeply, and I am going to make a big difference in the world, even if it doesn't. Like, someone else's version of big difference and ours can be different.
Right.
But, so I was like, I gotta write a song because she's not the only one that's been here. So.
Absolutely. I think that's so true. And I think sometimes, especially in, in church.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're church folk here, but let's be honest, is that mental health disorders are often like, okay, there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
And we're just going to ignore that and put you over here. And
take some pills, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or
don't take pills because, Jesus wouldn't give you that. That's that's not right either.
I'm very pro medicine. I'm also very pro it's a spiritual thing.
Yes.
So I'm pro prayer, pro medicine.
Sure.
If you need it, take it, but don't just medicate people just to medicate them if it's not necessary.
Right. Absolutely. No,
Mm-hmm.
that makes I am totally right there with you. I just think that we stigmatize it.
Amen.
Absolutely.
So much.
Well, and everybody, as much as we like to call it out, people still show up to church and pretend like everything's fine.
Yep.
We're
gonna be okay.
Yeah, like they put on this happy face. I actually just had lunch with a woman from church and this week, and she was like, yeah, we've got lots going on. She's like, but people look at us and they think, oh, it's the great little family, and you know,
Yep.
there's way more under the surface.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So we played it earlier in the show. It's time to arise. I noticed you have a rise tattoo.
do.
So, what inspired that video? Because it looks like it's anime inspired.
It is.
So, are you guys anime fans?
Yes.
Very
I know,
cool.
we're kind of nerdy.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, you're nerdy too.
Yeah,
though,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
we are.
It works.
It's
It works.
yes, we accept and receive that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, so we were sitting on these 2 songs that we had gotten from that record that didn't get released. They took 8 songs. We took 2. One of them has yet to be released yet. So It's Time to Arise was one of them. It was the heaviest one on the album, but we loved it because it fits kind of Drive Thru Society-esque.
Yes.
And I was like, man, this song, we've never written kind of like an anthem or an inspiring song. And I was like, let's just go crazy with this one. Let's do something totally different. So I actually contracted an anime artist that lives in Italy.
Oh,
Wow.
And she actually
Wow.
designed our album artwork. I know. I found her online. Because a lot of people that are super fantastic at anime, they charge a lot of money. Or they're
Right.
not open for commissions. But she was. And so I worked with her. She was really great to work with. And then
fun.
I was like, can you just draw us as anime characters? And she was like, sure. So
Getting
that's-
ideas, Charles.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah. Wheels are turning.
Getting
I'm giving- I
ideas.
know. It's awesome.
Yes.
And so then we were like, in my brain, of course, I'm like seeing this epic anime music video, but like, those are really expensive. Okay. Like, let's just be real. And
like,
most of the animes you see
I'm
on,
gonna draw.
yeah, like a flip book. Yeah. And like most of the animes you see have massive studios that are making sure everything is seamless and make sure that the animation looks good.
Yes.
So even if I got an indie artist, it still probably wouldn't be at that level. We had looked at some. They were like, "Yeah, it's gonna be $10,000." I'm like, "That's cute."
Yeah.
Thank
Not
you.
gonna happen. So we were like, "Let's just recreate it in like real life." So I told Greg, because I don't know if y'all know this, but Greg is almost a black belt in,
Really?
in kung fu.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Oh,
he's like a legit.
He is a ninja.
He is a ninja. It's
Really is
legit.
a ninja.
So I was like, Greg, you could dress as a ninja in the music video, and it would just be fun. And he was like, dude, I'm down.
No kidding.
Like,
Right.
why would he not?
You
right?
had me at ninja,
Yeah, ninja,
okay?
And then I was like, I gotta look cool. So I looked up a bunch of anime, and I came up with the best, most affordable, costume
Yes.
that I could find. And so it was basically this idea that the system or whatever is controlling you. And actually, like, one of our people that we met online, he lives in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So we had him translate some phrases for us to make sure that the kanji was legit.
Sure.
Because, Google Translate would be like,
Oh,
my
yeah.
waffle is brown or something,
Right.
like something stupid.
Right.
And so we made it legit. And there's banners in the video. And the kanji actually stands for, like, control or submit. And it's
Which I was kind of wondering. I'm like, is it like water or
Right.
like what does that
right,
mean?
yeah, like waffle.
Yeah.
No, it actually means like what we said it means, control
Cool.
or submit. And then there's like a longer phrase that's like 6 or 7 kanji, and it means it's time to rise up. Because I don't think they have a word arise in the actual language, but rise up was the closest transition we had, or translation. And so we had this idea that there's like a rebellion brewing underneath the city.
Yes.
That's going to stand up and release all of the people that are under the government control of conformity. Oh, conformity. That was the kanji word, conform. Because our society does say, hey, you need to look like this. You need to do this. This is what you need to be doing. You need to conform to this idea.
Right.
When God calls us to be unique and be who he created us to be. Like, I'm weird. You like salsa. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
we do our things, and we need to be that person
Yeah.
and step into that and not be afraid of it. And so it was just this idea of, like, when Greg slashes the banner, like, we're not going to conform. we're releasing the control you have over the people. And it was cool because so many people that we've seen at shows and we've made relationships with, like, were in the music video, which was just really precious to us.
That's very cool. So yeah, we have some friends that were in that video.
Yeah. Hashtag Chad Venner.
Yeah. You let some elderly folks in that video.
He was like, "Are you sure you want?" I was like, "We want everybody. Okay, get your butt over here."
I'm like,
conformity now.
"Now, you over here."
we're watching the. I'm like, hey, I know him.
Yep. And he took behind the scene pictures for us that were really cool.
Oh, fun.
So you can kind of see like the lighting and the camera angles and all that. So
very cool.
That's fun.
That is a lot of fun.
it was really fun.
How
I felt like a
cool.
superhero.
Right?
Right. So are you a big, like, superhero, Marvel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the things.
Oh man, we went to pick up our comics today before the show. So that's like
It's our weekly Friday.
that's our thing.
What
That's what we do on
comics are y'all
Fridays.
reading?
Oh, right. I'm a Marvel person.
Oh,
So
okay.
We're
See,
Marvel.
I'm more of a DC person.
Are
So,
ya?
like, I love Batman. Have you ever watched Young Justice?
No.
I have not.
so good.
Oh
Really?
my goodness.
Yes, it's so
Cool.
good.
So I'm guessing if you're a DC person, did you see Aquaman?
Yeah, I thought it was
What
great.
did you think of it?
I really liked it. I felt like it was a good turn for where DC's been. I will, say Marvel's kicking butt in the movie scene.
Yeah.
They've been doing it a
They've
while
been doing it
though.
a while.
So they
DC's trying to catch up, and they just need to chill and just do their own thing.
Yes.
You know? So,
don't try to be Marvel.
Yes.
Do your thing.
Yes.
So
For real.
yeah.
Heard it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen Aquaman yet.
I actually very much enjoyed it.
We'll have to go see it.
It was a good amount of comedy and action.
Well,
And good telling of backstory. They didn't just like throw 6 villains in the movie.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's
they
good.
actually like built up Black Manta and Ocean Master and all that jazz.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's nice.
So yeah, everybody that I know that went to go see Aquaman are not actually comic fans. They're
Jason fans?
Jason
Momoa
Momoa fans.
That was my mom. She didn't care about anything. Same thing with Thor. She's like, I don't care about Thor. I just
Right.
want to see
Just wanna see
Chris Hemsworth.
I just want to see the story. He's great.
Oh, this movie. Like, she's like about a car. It's got Chris Hemsworth in it. She's going to go see it.
Right?
Okay, Mom.
See, I was,
Chris Hemsworth.
when I was,
Excuse me.
Right, yeah.
Fan, just a minute.
when I was younger, I was a balance of Marvel and DC. I did a lot of Justice League.
Yeah.
So that was, but I think I do more Marvel.
I like both. I mean, I just prefer DC characters.
Now-
But we go see all the Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah.
So
You've got it.
I'm kind of new to comic books.
Okay. I don't know.
So yeah, I'm like new to that, and so I watched all like the X-Men movies. I always
Yes.
loved the movies. So then I thought, oh well, I think that's why I probably got into Marvel is because I had a little bit of a, already had an idea,
Right, yeah.
and that's kind of so like once I started, I was like, oh.
See, I
And they
still
just keep
haven't...
reeling me
I know.
in because
I
they
still-
go off on these little side tangents,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, I gotta get that. I gotta get. Charles is like, why did you ever
And they're
get
not
into?
cheap. Like, comic books aren't cheap, right?
They add up.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. This is my side gig, right?
My parents are listening. Don't tell them. I know I'm almost 40, but don't
Hey,
tell
girl.
them.
I watch anime. It's okay.
It's all good.
So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
So, to shift a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's got to do the serious questions.
Oh, no, not at all.
Let's do it.
So, to this date, who would you like to still play on stage with? And I think Red is.
Yes.
Okay, besides
already
Red.
anyone else.
I mean, I would love to play another show with Disciple because we've come a long way since that first show.
You're like, please let us fix this.
Please let us redeem what was not good at our. It was like our second show. Okay?
Oh, well,
So,
you know.
yeah, we were just little babies.
They probably were. Like, what? How old were you?
Oh, like 24, 25.
Oh, yeah, babies.
Babies.
Definitely babies.
Man, so many. Like, I can't even. I just like playing shows. We played. I know they're kind of, Relentless Flood. We played a show with them when they came to Texas, and we just bonded really well with them. So I would love the opportunity to play with them again. Now if we were talking like big, like dream band,
absolutely.
I would really like to play with Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Non-Christian, but
Yeah.
they have great music.
I'm not familiar with them.
They're excellent.
Okay.
I really, really like them. They're more like electronic rock,
Sure.
but they're fantastic. And I
Nice.
love their music.
I'll check them out.
And then if I was going to play a metal show, I'd want to play with Fit for a King.
Ah,
And they live in Dallas, so
better
they're
play,
not that
better play your
far.
heavier stuff.
see?
I know, right? All the
It's meant to
screaming
be.
at everything. Yeah.
It's meant to be.
We had Fit for a King for a show.
We did.
Yeah.
They're good dudes too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like having a. Were they part of the 10?
No.
No, that was.
Yeah, we did a fundraiser 2011. It wasn't.
No, it was one of.
Oh,
it was
our first year.
earlier. It was our first year.
It was a fundraiser for Hands and Feet Project, and it was 10 hardcore bands.
Yes.
And Fit for a King were on there. Sound the Ruin.
I don't know.
Trying to think who else.
There is a whole.
But we used our fellowship hall. I don't know how we ended up on either side. There was probably, what do you say, 20, 30 feet on either side of the stage.
Yeah.
Of all 10 bands gear stage.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how we did it.
Yeah.
Stack.
Just gonna backline that
Yeah.
next time.
Oh my God. We did that.
Right,
So,
for
Like what just happened?
and that show, Charlie, our son, was
Like
four.
four?
Towards the end of the show, he had his shirt off and he was moshing.
Yeah,
And
they,
all-
they had,
and all
they had
these-
like a circle pit going, and
Yeah.
he's like
That's
running around like a
necessary.
crazy person. And actually, someone in one of the bands on the stage stopped. They are still playing. He gets out his phone, and everybody's just like watching this little kid go nuts.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever been to a metal show?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
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 It's like 40% sweat that's yours,
Yes.
and then 60% that's not yours.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, I'm further back. I'm not in the pit.
We went to For Today's last show at the door a couple years ago, and I was coat lady. So there were like a ton of people there, like 15, 20 dudes that I knew, and they were all like, "Hey, will you hold my wallet? Hey, will you hold my phone? Will you hold my coat?" I'm like, "Sure." So y'all go
Fine.
mash. You don't get anything ruined. I'll sit back here, and it was fine. I was perfectly fine in the back,
Yeah.
I
watching from there, being coat lady.
just about every time we've gone to a show at the door, I end up there's like a thing of stools
Yes.
back in the like in the very back,
Mhm.
and that's usually where I end
That's
up.
good,
I'm
yeah.
just like, I want to be close to the door.
Where it's cool.
It's cooler, and no one's going to touch me
Yeah.
because about halfway into a show, and people are like, if you touch me, I will hurt you.
Yes,
Jesus loves you, but I will
but
kill you.
I like my space. Okay, thank you. Yes.
There is a bubble.
Yeah.
If you get in this bubble, I will kick you back into the
Yes.
mosh pit.
And they would be fine with that.
Probably.
It's funny.
I think you have a solid contingent here of people that would like for you to have a show.
I know. A lot of people have asked us. We've even had people reach out to us, like in other states, that are like, "Hey, if y'all ever in town, we'd love to host y'all." And I'm like, "Well, we haven't consistently been booking. We haven't really been looking. We have, I will say, booked a show in 2020,
Oh,
but I can't announce it yet. We
oh,
just confirmed it this week.
mysterious.
2020.
I know. It's a way out.
It's one of those
Ooh.
cruises, right?
No, it's not a cruise. But it is a bigger festival.
Good.
So,
Sweet.
so,
Very fun.
yeah, but that's on the DL. Nobody should know
No.
about that. Oops.
Well, only like 6 people listen to this show,
good.
so
It's going to be
It's
fine.
fine.
You 6 people.
it'll be fine.
Keep it in the vault.
Right.
Don't tell anybody.
Right. So this is kind of a guilty pleasure question here.
Okay.
What was the most unusual concert experience or situation that you might have had? I mean, as many concerts we had, we have weird things arise, just whatever. Can you think of any that was just circumstances at a concert that was just weird, odd?
I mean, things happen
Sure.
at concerts. I'm trying to think. There was one time when it was in Dallas and we were playing, and I mean, like, it's normal when you play in a bar for drunk people to come
Yeah.
up to you, but this guy was like really hot.
Ah.
And he was he just kept like standing here, not talking, just standing.
Creeper.
And I was like, "Hello," and he's like, "You guys are great." And I'm like, thank you. Appreciate it. And then you try to make small talk, like, where are you from? What are you doing? And you're just like, I enjoyed your show. And I'm like, I don't know. You're not talking to me. I'm like, I appreciate you, but I don't know. He was just very out of it. Yeah. So that was kind of weird. Yeah. There was one
my
time.
husband is a ninja.
Yeah, well, he just laughs. Like, that was fun. That was fun when girls would kind of talk to him. I'd be like, how's it going? Like, I just watch it because he doesn't get it. Like, he's like, whatever, they're just talking to me. And I'm like, no, they're flirting with you. And he's like, what? No.
Why?
I'm just going to watch this happen.
That's fun.
It is fun.
Oh, that's funny.
One time, we had a rubber chicken. His name's Fred. He would go with us to every show. And he was kind of our, like, mascot. Kids loved him.
Sure.
And one time I did get, it wasn't really at a show, we were leaving. The guys were just squawking him, and I was over it, so I threw him out the window.
Is that how, did Fred die?
No, it was in the front yard of the house we were staying at.
Oh, okay.
So he was fine. But everybody was like, oh, you destroyed Fred. Why would you do that? And I was like, oh, calm down. We're being a little dramatic.
Yeah, a little.
So, a little dramatic. But, yes. So
like we could get one at any dollar store. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know? We only found, because, like, the first one we had, let me tell you. He was, like...
Oh, so there's multiple versions of Fred.
And then Fred 2.0, because the first Fred was, like, melted. So, like, his face was, like, oh. Because it, like, melted, and then his squawker wasn't working, so it was, like... Which is sad
poor
sounding
Fred.
So we had to get another Fred, and he's in much better health. He's still in our merch box.
Do you give the old Freds like a Viking funeral, or?
No, we still have him.
Oh, okay.
So maybe one day we'll put him in like a shadow box and like put him on the wall.
Special Fred.
Yeah,
Special Fred.
Special Fred. And then, of course, when we would play shows, people would tag us in videos of all the rubber chickens. You know, the horse with the rubber chickens and the, literally.
Yes.
You're like, we don't even like rubber chickens anymore.
Well, the guys were like, the chicken's the best. And I was not about it. But, you know, he was popular. So he's on our stickers, too, for the chicken.
Nice. Very
So
cool.
Fred 2.0 is still alive and well. Why not make this a Camp Gladiator thing, too?
Yeah, you know, maybe. We'll take a poll with
Fred.
my CG people. How do you feel about Fred the chicken at camp?
But, you know, I feel like also you need a llama.
Okay, so for Christmas, one of my campers brought me a purple llama, like a little stuffed llama.
I'm so jealous.
And she put like a little choker on it and had a little guitar, and she was like, "It's a rock llama."
Oh, that's
That is awesome.
He sits on my table sometimes.
That's really
awesome.
sweet.
Cool.
So yeah, it's the amount of llama paraphernalia that I have at this point is crazy. Like,
It's like me and pigs.
oh, is that
Once
your thing?
once people find out that you might
something.
like something, especially when it's animals,
Well, the difference
like-
is we had a pet pig.
we did have a
So-
pet pig.
I am dying to have a llama.
See, I keep
Is that
trying
okay
to
and
tell
dim?
Charles I want a llama.
I know.
He
It's
doesn't
totally
get it.
fine. I told Greg. I
He's
was
like-
like, he can hang in the backyard. Greg's like, no. I was like, he's an ag exemption. Come on.
Exactly.
There's
I
nothing wrong
wanted a
here.
goat. I'm like,
Right?
we don't ever have to mow the lawn again. Get a
Exa-
goat.
Thank you. And but llamas
on.
are companion animals, so you need 2 llamas.
Yes.
This is a good argument, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we have a question
Yes.
from when we did the show before, our host, Braxton.
Yep.
He would like to know, what is it like to work with a ninja on your music video? And what is your favorite type of salsa for chips and such?
You're going to be disappointed. I'm going to answer the salsa question first.
Go for it.
Okay.
I don't like salsa.
You know.
I know.
And
That's
you're native
okay.
Texan, too?
I know.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm going to make it even worse. I don't really like Mexican food.
Wow.
I have a really good friend who's Italian. She hates Italian.
Well, it's like
I don't
now
get
if it's authentic Mexican, like your grandma was raised in Mexico and she's gonna make me some Mexican food, let's do it. But if it's Tex-Mex, I can't do it.
So on the way home, you're not going to run into Taco
No
Bueno.
taco.
Well, you know, like when you eat it and then you're like, I don't feel very good after I just
Yeah,
ate that.
yeah.
I don't like that feeling.
Right. right.
So I just avoid it.
So does Greg?
Greg likes Mexican. I think I've converted him though.
Oh,
He'll
see,
eat
because he
it,
probably
but
doesn't get to go
he
have
doesn't eat
it.
because
So
I don't eat it.
yeah.
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 So,
So the other question, how is it like to work with a ninja? Well, they don't say much. They don't thank you for laughing, Charles. That was a joke. Glad you got onto it. So, Bosch is upset that I don't like Mexican food. So yeah, Greg doesn't talk a lot. Greg is a great artist and he has lots of vision, but this music video is a lot of my vision. However, like, he painted those banners. Like, we made them out of bed sheets and paint. And he, like, cut the stencils, so he's really meticulous. So,
Wow.
like, yeah. So when he's not ninjaing, he's artsying.
That's cool.
That's a verb, right?
He's artsy fartsy.
Yeah.
So he's a
is.
very quiet ninja, though.
He is a very quiet ninja, except when his sword comes out, because then he's going to slice things. We did Fruit Ninja in the backyard with a sword one time.
Like real life.
Like,
Fruit
oh,
Ninja.
I was throwing
Like
a cantaloupe, and he
Fruit
was trying to
Ninja.
slice it. It was awesome.
Fun.
Please tell me there's video of
There
this
is.
somewhere.
There is. I think
Okay.
it's on the hard drive, so I got to put it together. And,
yeah.
Okay, you have
Yeah.
to share that because that is awesome. Okay, and then recently you was that like around Christmas time? You posted a video of somebody with like a animal head on.
Oh, that was Monday,
that was Monday. Okay, why
that
did
was
I think
Greg,
it was Christmas?
and it was a llama head.
It was a llama head.
Convenient, right?
Yeah.
A camper got that for me for Christmas.
That's very
It's
nice.
a llama head.
So Greg's probably saying, well, here's your llama.
Here's
right?
your llama.
Here's your llama.
Not the same.
Not the same.
Well, you know. What can you say?
But apparently, someone tagged me in a video this week where you can go on a hike with a llama in Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, and
Wow.
I just might do it.
There you go.
Ooh.
I think you
And
should.
then take the llama home with me.
Right.
What?
Will you fit in the back seat of the car?
Sunroof.
Stuff you in there. You'll be fine.
It'll be okay. It'll be fine. You'll be great.
Yeah.
That's
Be
good.
good.
That will be awesome. So I think we need some music.
We do.
Let's do it.
All right,
Okay,
let's hit some
some-
songs right here.
Chevelle.
Oh, love it.
Braxton, you missed her influences. That was earlier in the show.
That's funny.
Oh, I guess I got to do some music news when we come back.
Yeah. Are we going to get to squeeze in this or not, are we?
We might.
We've been chatty Cathy's.
We got time.
That's
We got-
good.
My stories are quick.
Short but
She beat me to the egg exemption. See? Braxton, we're friends already.
Braxton's
I
a good
need you
guy.
to contact my husband, Greg, and tell him how great it would be.
Good old Braxton. He was with us early on with 10 Talents.
Yes. Braxton's awesome.
His
Cool.
band,
Oh.
Murderers Thieves. Right. It was a hardcore
Woohoo.
band. Funny story with them playing, huh? Right, Braxton?
Goat yoga.
Let me know. Okay, Braxton, I got you, bro.
Yeah, he says, I think the real thing here is getting llamas into CG like goat yoga. Yes.
We should do like a pop-up workout on Bold Week
Yes.
and just have. Oh my gosh!
I
this
have
is
a
great
parking lot
idea.
for you. I have a parking lot for you. Oh my goodness.
How cool would that actually be? I do have some friends that have alpacas, but I don't know
They're
if
kind of llama-esque.
they're in the same family. They're still more
Right?
fluffier. They look a little. They're not as sassy.
No.
They're
Well,
a
we
little
like
more.
the sassy, though.
Yeah, I like the
I
sass.
like the sassy.
Oh, yeah.
Sass.
Of course.
About sass. Guys,
Murderous.
All my
See, I
CG
can't talk.
people.
See, Braxton, I thought it was Murderers Thieves. I had it wrong the whole time, man.
I forgot my own band name. Hey, that
It
happens all
was.
the time, bro. Drive by
Murderous
Society.
Thieves.
Ah. Hey, wait.
Whatever.
Been
You
a
just-
while, buddy.
Go with it. Just go with it.
This is my favorite Chevelle song. Or is my favorite Chevelle song.
Yeah, that show that Murderers Thieves played, was it his drummer at the end of the set?
Ran out and barfed.
Ran out and barfed.
What?
Like the stage.
At least he
jumped
didn't
off
barf
the
on his
stage,
drum set.
Ran to the
That's
back of
true.
the room and barfed in the trash.
Was it just hot? Was it hot?
I don't know.
It,
I don't
I-
remember.
I don't remember. It
That
probably
sucks.
was in
I've
that
wanted
room.
to barf a couple times on stage.
That was the encore.
The trash can was right by my arm, though. I was like,
Oh, good. Did you get some splatter?
no, thank you. And that was actually also the same show where somebody else in the band fell off the back of a truck and broke his elbow.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We have some weird stories.
Yeah,
We
these
do
are
have
good.
some
had-
fun
These
stories.
are way better than mine.
No,
We had a-
not at all.
Yeah.
One of the heavier shows we had, I don't remember who it was. I know Brad was running sound, but someone called the police and said that there was a stabbing at our show.
So
And I'm like, we're on a church. I'm like,
Shanks? What's going on?
yeah.
police
So-
like
so
run
they
in.
come
I'm
in.
the desk girl, so and they run in with their guns like drawn, and I'm going, oh boy. And then we come to find out it was the wrong address.
Was it?
Yes, later
At
down
least
the
they didn't
road.
stop the show. I mean, it was a heavy show,
Oh
so
my goodness.
they kind of needled around in the show.
You could come back after that one.
That's
yeah, that
funny.
was like, oh, it was the Holy Spirit stabbing people. Yeah, it's just bad.
Oh.
Okay, so I had a meeting with the CG trainer actually before we came here, and we're planning like a big, like
Uh-huh.
to help raise some money for
Yeah.
So I feel like we need to bring some llamas into this. I think we could
Yeah.
do it.
Sure.
I've got to find somebody.
They
with
may
a
not
llama,
get
though.
it.
No,
They may not get it. But
I don't care. They're
you
llamas.
get it.
I get it. And that's
You
all
get
that
it,
counts.
and that's what counts. Absolutely.
Well, hey, we get the live nativity.
Oh my gosh.
That's how we got the
So-
pig.
Yeah. So yeah, years back they brought the goats, the cows. All
you have
that.
a camel?
And no,
Too big.
too big. But they bring a pig. I'm like, how
there-
kosher is that for? A,
Yeah,
and it was a little,
Jesus
it was
had
a little piglet.
pig.
So she fell in love with it.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
Mom
I'm like
likes pigs too. yeah.
losing it because they're like, oh well, if you really like this little pig, we'll sell it to you for $25. So I'm like,
That was it?
yes,
I'd have been sold too.
yeah.
Of
bought
course,
it
the
for my
little
mom.
pig here that they said was a
Oh,
boy.
he won't get big.
How
You
big
won't-
did he get?
Oh,
250 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Like, that's like the size of half this table.
yeah.
Yeah, he was big.
Yeah.
I mean, he was not. He was a pot-bellied pig, but he was not. He was not a standard size. Like, yeah, he
Yeah.
got big.
Would y'all feed him everything?
Oh, his favorite thing to eat was dog food. I was like, they're
Well,
not
that's
supposed to.
convenient.
That's like
Yeah,
too much
right.
protein for them. But he was like, oh well, he didn't care.
I wouldn't even know the first thing.
Yeah,
to
he
do.
wouldn't. He didn't like pig food.
Pigs are smart.
They
They're
are really
very
smart. So
You gotta watch them because once they chew
rent
on
a
furniture-
llama website. No way.
What?
Whoa, there's a rent a llama.
Shut up! Really?
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Braxton.
This is happening at camp during Bold
I
Week.
know. We're having.
Nice.
I'm coming to Denton for that. That's it.
So maybe baby
I will
Jesus
take
and
off.
stuff.
Shangri-Lama. Where do they rent to? Do they rent to Denton?
Please.
Shangri-Lama. That is
Please.
awesome name.
Llamas. Yes.
All right, campers. Y'all get them.
We're-
Get ready.
Getting a llama.
Bring your kids to camp.
Yes.
You're gonna have to let us know when you do that because I know some.
I wonder if
Okay.
I could put. Dang it! This camp is spring break. I'm gonna be gone.
Oh.
April or camp 3. It's going down. Camp 3. I know. Sad day. Just deflated my idea. But that's okay.
We'll
It will
find-
happen.
There will be a llama at camp.
It will
I don't know
happen.
whose camp it's going to be at,
There's
but it's
gonna
going
be
to
a
show
llama,
up.
dang
Oh.
it.
We got, what, 10
about to
seconds?
Come back here on air.
I'll be quiet this time.
Don't do that.
Welcome back. You're listening to Illrad on the Fishbowl Radio Network. That was Blindside with Our Love Saves. Before that, we had Chevelle. And was there another song in there that I got distracted by the llama talk?
No, that was it.
We're having way too much fun talking about llamas over on
The
Facebook
operative word
Live.
is tuba.
Yes.
Operative words.
If you are wondering, if you're listening to us and you're like, what are they doing in studio while we play music? Well, you just take yourself right on over to facebook.com/Illrad Radio and you will see all of our crazy llama talk. It's been fun.
Very important.
Okay, so Charles has this really great thing
You
coming
want
up.
to play a game?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
I like games.
So
are fun.
we're gonna call this musical trio.
Oh gosh.
All right. So 3 albums. Okay.
Okay.
You have to tell me which one to keep. You would keep.
Poop.
Which one you would gift, and which one you'd fling. So keep, gift, fling.
Okay.
All right.
It's like poo. Sorry. I'm sorry. You said fling. I thought poo. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Good. I like it.
That's fine. All right. First album, Linkin Park, Meteoria.
Keep. Right? That was an option.
Yeah.
Yes.
You sure you want to do that now?
Oh, cool. Okay. I gotta listen to all the options. Gotta listen to all the options. I destroyed that CD because I played it so many times.
Garth Brooks, Ropin' in the Wind,
Okay.
and Hanson, Middle of Nowhere.
Okay. Keeping Linkin Park for sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna fling Garth Brooks. Sorry, country people. This is not my genre. Okay. Even though I respect the man greatly. And then Hanson, I'll gift it to my partner trainer Paul Taylor, who loves boy bands.
Ooh.
Is there sarcasm there?
Yes. No, he really does like the Backstreet Boys. I don't know if
okay.
he likes Hanson though, but
Close
he could
enough.
take it.
Right.
Okay,
Wouldn't you call House of Heroes a modern boy band?
you
They're way better than a boy band.
take
Well,
that
yeah.
out of your mouth right now, Charles.
I knew I'd
I think
get around
Kendall
that.
might be a little upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, so Charles, which one's for you? Which one are you gonna keep?
Oh, I'd keep Linkin Park. Yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
Okay, what are you gonna gift? He didn't know I was gonna ask.
I would gift Garth Brooks.
And which one are you gonna fling?
Hanson, only for the reason when I worked music retail, that was popular, and I just got so tired of it. And they're all,
Yeah.
Should we start singing Bop?
That's literally the only song I know. And it's the only word in that one song I know.
that's
That's
about
true.
right.
Sorry. For real.
Okay, so I think I would I'd keep Linkin Park and I would gift Garth Brooks and I know I respect the fact that Hanson, they're like 35, 40 now, and they did, for being three little kids, they did pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows that
Never really
stupid
followed their
Bop
career
song, so
very much.
I don't know.
Hanson?
Too?
Yep.
No.
No, neither.
Victor's like, no.
Not about that life.
Not at all.
Actually,
All
Boys
right.
in Sync, different story.
Here's another one,
Okay,
Oh.
I'm ready for it.
and we're calling this the Three Bobs. Okay.
Okay.
Bob Dylan hits. Bob Marley legend. Bob Seger live.
Bob Seger live, keeping it.
No kidding.
I like me some Bob Seger, okay?
Cool. Nice.
Bob Dylan, I would gift to my brother because he likes Bob Dylan. And sorry, Bob Marley, but you're going to fling. I'm not a fan of reggae. I'm sorry.
So no reggae sounding songs in the
I
future.
still love
right?
you.
No, probably not. That's a hard no.
Oh,
Shall we?
man. Okay, so I can tell you right now, I am keeping Bob Marley. I am gifting Bob Seger. I am flinging Bob Dylan. I
Okay,
cannot
know.
stand that
See,
man's voice.
I don't like Bob Dylan either, but my brother does, so I'm like, you can have him.
So, like, if you gave me like a book of his lyrics as poetry, I would keep that.
Yeah,
But if
right.
I have to listen to that man sing,
Did you hear his Christmas album?
oh,
Dig the halls.
I
Oh.
And you're like,
terrible.
Why?
no.
Just stick to writing them.
So Charles, that is my guilty pleasure. I love Bob Marley.
I actually really like Bob Seger, too.
Like,
He's
I just-
catchy.
Yeah, he is catchy. But Bob Marley, yeah,
Well, I learned something new
that's
about you.
that's
I
my.
would
have a
never
little-
pegged Bob Seger for you though. That's,
Okay,
that's cool.
No.
my grandma listened to him a lot growing up. I know, here I go again, right? Old people music. Hashtag, it's gonna be hashtag. And so, like, she would clean her house to Bob Seger, and we'd listen to it on road trips, and so I just,
Yeah, no,
greatest hits, take
I get it. That's cool.
All right, I have one more, and this one's going to be tough.
Okay.
Okay.
Dang it.
Lil Wayne,
Oh, no.
I Am Not a Human Being. I just had to put that album title in there.
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Eminem, Slim Shady LP, and Post Malone, Stoney.
Oh.
Listen.
Oh.
The only one I even, like, remotely enjoy out of those is Eminem.
Okay,
So I'm going to keep the Eminem record.
kind of a lesser evil.
Yeah. I don't even remember who was the first one.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, no, he's going away. He's flinging. I don't
Okay.
like Lil Wayne. And then I guess I'll give Post Malone to a friend
Okay.
who's moderately enjoys his music.
I'm still trying to figure out Post Malone.
Me too. Me too. He's
Yeah.
so popular, and he's killing it. Like, I mean, he's selling them on Drive
But like
Thru.
hearing some of his, dialogue and
Never
interviews,
listen
I'm
to
like,
interviews.
I don't get it. I don't know.
I honestly
Post
am not
Malone?
educated enough. Hey,
Okay.
hey, there you go.
What?
Like, he can,
Okay.
Victor can educate
Victor
me.
can teach me because I don't know.
Teach
I
us
don't
about
know.
Post Malone. Why is he so great?
Tell us.
He's different. He did do a lot of rock stuff growing up.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
I can
He
appreciate
is-
different.
I
he
can
is
appreciate different too.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, you can't really be as successful as he is and not put in hard work.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
a lot of times we just think a lot of those artists are just
They just show up.
They just show up. No. They're
Right.
working their buns off. And so I can respect that a lot.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know. There's just something about him. I'm like,
Yes.
I don't get it. But then we watched this video of him,
Oh,
like,
this is
totally making
awesome.
fun of
This is
himself,
cool.
like undercover boss.
So yeah, he did an undercover thing with a music store somewhere that they gave away a Bentley. So he went undercover as an employee at this record shop. Okay, of course, hat and all, glasses.
Sorry,
You can still
Braxton.
tell it's him.
Yeah.
right? So it was really funny, but he's going through his records as the employee. He goes, "Oh, this sucks." He's making fun of
Missed
himself.
your call,
So
Braxton. I'm sorry.
I can appreciate that. But yeah, that was kind of fun. to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to each his own, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we missed. Braxton was trying to call in. I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'm not
Oh.
that talented.
All right. Answer.
Okay, I'm answering.
Okay.
Do I have to click that? Okay, Victor, you're gonna step in and be awesome. Oh boy. Okay, I got it.
That's cool. I didn't know he covers Rage Against the Machine.
Hang tight there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hashtag technology.
Right.
Exactly.
This is why I'm not allowed to.
Hashtag
Do
stay
stuff.
analog, Braxton. Remember
Oh gosh, I still have my stay analog rubber bracelet thing. Oh, here we go.
that? All right. We got a caller.
What? Caller.
Oh, how do I answer?
Yeah, you got the green
Is this the
button.
first time it's happened?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, he tries to call, and then I'm like, I don't know. Well, it didn't happen. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Did I push the wrong button again?
Anyway. Team. Are y'all having fun?
Oops. Oh no.
So if we lose anybody,
It's all right.
We're just having fun. You know what? We're gonna just
We're gonna be here.
skip the calls for right
Sorry,
now.
Braxton.
Sorry, Braxton. We love you. You're awesome. But now we're playing
gonna
Florida
play some
Georgia
music.
Line.
what is this?
Oh, I love it. I
Do y'all
love
like
it.
country music? Do y'all like country?
I
music?
like old country,
Okay.
like old school country.
like Garth Brooks.
No,
Oh.
like
George Strait.
no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I love George Strait because George Strait is awesome, but I love like old country swing, like Bob Wills. Speaking of Bob's, stuff like that. Yeah,
Roy Rogers.
I would listen to Roy
That is
Rogers.
one genre I am completely ignorant on. I will admit that
I
readily.
like way old school stuff. Okay, why is Florida no, okay, no, did it stop? Okay, good. I was like,
Cool.
No, that's not.
Florida Georgia line. Blah.
So do you want to?
Okay. So we have some music news as we wind down our show with Meg Hudson here. Meg, you can jump in here if you want.
Okay.
Okay. It's official. An artist with a name that sounds like it came off the menu at Starbucks has made music history by being the second artist in the history of Billboard charts to claim the top 3 spots in the same week on the Hot 100 chart. Did you hear about this, Charles?
Tell me more.
Okay. I will. Pop phenom. I can't say her name. I can't even say her name. How do I say her name, Charles?
Who?
Ariana
Ariana
Grande.
Grande.
Oh yeah.
I ordered
See,
that at Starbucks.
When I go to
one day.
Starbucks, I don't even use the words. I'm like, I just want a large coffee.
Yeah,
Don't-
they translate.
They got to know what that is. Anyways, so she's the first act since the Beatles in 1964 to claim the distinction with songs from her latest release, Thank You Next. I haven't heard it yet.
No.
I've
She actually has some pretty catchy songs on there.
So Thank You Next also debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 with the biggest streaming numbers for an album in 1 week.
Wow,
That's crazy.
that is.
Yeah, 60 years, and this is what breaks that streak. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And not that I'm a huge Beatles fan.
I know one song you don't like.
Stop it. I already shared my soapbox on that,
Let Meg
and
guess it.
so, yep.
Oh,
Her name.
I don't know any Beatles songs.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Only
good.
the
We're
ones
safe.
that were in the movie.
There's a movie.
Across the Universe. From like 10 years ago.
Ah, gotcha.
I was busy 10 years ago. I don't know what I was doing, but you know.
That's great. I love it.
Okay, so sad news this week. Peter Tork of the Monkees died after a long battle with a rare form of tongue cancer. Tork, who also, along with Davy Jones, Mickey Dolenz, and Michael Nesmith, were brought together in 1966 to create, I guess, a boy band, right? It's like making of the band.
It's the original boy band.
The original making of the band to create a band for an upcoming TV show, also known as The Monkees. It ran for 2 seasons in the 1960s, racked up, I don't know if you know this, 9 top 40 hits and won an Emmy Award.
Wow.
So they were pretty cool. You know, everybody was like, "Oh, they weren't really a band. They weren't," but they actually were pretty talented musicians.
Thing is, they formed their band well before any of us were born. So
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well before I
Have
was
you?
born.
I was to say, have you even heard of the Monkees?
Yes, but I don't know any of their music. My brother
Besides,
would.
Hey Hey, we're the Monkees.
didn't they do "I'm a Believer"?
They did.
Shrek-
Joe
Shrek
for I
song.
see you.
Right? So, you know, old people music.
It's a new hashtag. It's a thing now.
Hashtag old people
Old people
music.
I'm gonna have fun with that.
Okay, this one was kind of fun. And so move over Nickelback. Apparently there's a new most hated band in the world. According to Corey Taylor, frontman of the band Slipknot, Nickelback has passed the baton of most hated rock band to Las Vegas natives Imagine Dragons.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I know, right? Taylor, who is also from Las Vegas, recently said during an episode of Jonesy's Jukebox, they're terrible, so that's cool.
Did you know all of them are like they like went to this music school and like graduated with like honors and stuff?
Yeah,
Didn't
one of
know
them
that.
was like
Wow.
an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, like
I mean,
they actually have really prestigious music
See, now I'm
degrees.
like hitting stuff here,
I'm rubbing
For
off on
Imagine Dragons?
Yeah, at least that's what I read. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
right? So, is this the start of an Imagine Dragon Slipknot feud?
I've got a few memes on that. I'll have to post on that.
I mean, Corey Taylor's kind of untouchable.
Yeah.
Well, but so Corey Taylor and Nickelback frontman Chad Kroeger have had a long-standing feud for like the last 15
I
years.
didn't know that.
When Taylor famously described Kroeger as Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
I didn't say he was a nice guy.
Right.
Not a stretch.
Yeah.
And Kroeger is quoted as saying of Slipknot, "How good can your music be if you've got to beat each other up on stage?"
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to share the link from the story that I had, but please note there is some language in the story. So, I mean,
Do I need to
it's...
push the bleep button coming up here?
Well, no. But, I mean, it's Corey Taylor and it's Slipknot, so are you surprised? I'm just throwing it out there. But,
He
okay.
also has that band Stone Sour.
Yeah.
That's right.
That
More
Kroeger
singing.
called Nickelback Light,
That's funny. I don't know about these things.
right? So, anyways, it's like
You a
the...
fan of Nickelback?
I used to be. I
Yeah.
listened to them a lot in high school, actually. And I was like, if you can have a career in the music industry for 20 years, you're doing something right.
Yeah, that is true. Even if everyone hates
Even if
you,
everyone hates you, you're still selling shows.
there,
you're
people
still
are
making
still
records.
talking about them.
I mean, Bon Jovi's been around 40 years, and they're still making
Still
like
going.
that's
Yeah.
that's
The
longevity right
Rolling
there.
Stones?
No, my gosh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I have mad respect for that, even if I don't like your music.
Right.
Okay, so we're kind of here at the end of the show. Thank you, Meg, for being
Thanks
a
for
part
having
of
me.
the
Thank you very
show
much.
with
Told you.
us. And we enjoyed having you here. And we can't wait to see what happens in the future and all that good stuff. And I guess we're going to be waiting until 2020 to see you perform again? Or
Maybe.
maybe?
Or maybe
We'll see.
sooner?
I don't know.
Okay.
No comment.
No comment.
Okay, and how do people find you if they want to come to one of your Camp Gladiator camps?
So actually, you can go to campgladiator.com and search locations, and I'm in the Denton, Texas area. And you can search there for whatever camp time that works for you. But I do teach at 4:45 and 6 p.m. every evening in Denton. Catch me in my sweats with no makeup on, so it's a little different vibe, right?
Thanks for being here, and we will see you again soon, hopefully. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Do I need to go ahead and let those go?
Oh, well, that's fine. Thanks for being a part of the show with us, guys.
I love
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Yeah, that was fine.
Just go ahead and push.
Oh, I have to go to this one first, right? Okay.